This is a voiceover video. If you feel uncomfortable, then you can mute it. It's a boy and boy fan fiction. If you are homophobic, kindly leave. The names, characters, events, and incidents portrayed in this story, when those are based on real people, are all fictional. It has nothing to do with any idol or their real life. So don't take it serious. And if I do any mistake in voiceover, then please forgive me. Hey, where are you lost, Jimin? A tall guy asked Jimin, who is standing beside him on the counter, all lost. Jimin almost flinched from the sudden voice and looked beside. Oh, I will go and serve the table number 11. Tall guy says politely, and Jimin walks to the table with the order. He comes back after serving when the tall guy says, "He's looking at you." Huh? Jimin frowns, looking at him, and says with a grin on his lips, "The guy you just served, don't you think you should go and talk to him, Jimin? He has been coming here for a week and he just looks at you all the time." The tall guy explains, but Jimin replies, unbothered of whatever the guy has said. "I'm not interested, Jimin." He says, typing something on the computer. "Come on, Jimin, at least give it a chance," Jin says when Jimin looks at him with a soft smile. "You know everything, don't you, Young?" He questions with a polite tone. Jin sighs, knowing what younger means, and both get busy in their work. Though Jin is the cafe owner he works in, but he never treated Jimin any differently than a younger brother, or more like a child, like he's his own. He sometimes, or almost all the time, behaves like a mother towards Jimin, and that's one of the reasons Jimin calls him Mama Bird sometimes. Jimin, whose parents died in an accident, was sent to the orphanage at the age of 10. And since then, he was raised there until he turned 18. He started working in Jin's cafe when it was opened. Though Jin didn't have much to pay to Jimin, but still he agreed to give him there a job because the kid needed to survive and he wasn't qualified enough to get a job in any company. Both worked hard to run the cafe, and that's the reason they got close to each other, sharing their lives, sadness, happiness, and a lot more in these 3 years. Jin stayed in the orphanage until he turned 19 and became capable enough to live by his own. And just a year ago, he shifted in a rented house that's more like a room. Jimin finishes the work and takes off the apron, feeling a bit tired because there were a lot of customers today, and it was already 9:45 when he gazed at the watch. He walks to Jin and immediately gets his attention when calls him. "Young?" "Oh, yes, Jiminy?" He asked in a questionable tone, knowing well the younger wanted to ask about something. I'm planning to leave next week." Jimin hopes to get any response, but the older seems lost and he well knows why. "You sure?" asks Jin after a couple of seconds. "I have enough money now and I got my visa last week, so I wanna go as soon as possible." The younger says in a low tone, only getting a sigh from Jin before he says, "You'll be filling me up with updates, okay? And if needed, then don't hesitate to reach me out for help. Young will always be ready to help, okay?" Jin's lips form into a big smile and he immediately pulls the younger in a hug, only to get a tight hug from him, feeling the warmth of his young. They pull away from the hug, smiling, and Jin says, "It's already late, Jimin. Let me drop you home." "Honey, it's just 15 minutes walk to my apartment, and you're seeming tired," Jimin says as he looks at his tired young. "That's not a biggie, Jiminy. Don't worry, young. I'm not a kid anymore. You're still my baby anyways." Jimin laughs at his words and side hugs him, saying, "Yes, my mama, but I'm gonna go and text you as soon as I reach, okay?" Jimin parts from the hug, smiling brightly. "You sure?" Jimin asks, feeling something different he had never felt before, like there was something going to happen. "It's not the first time I'm going late, Youngie, so don't worry." Jimin forces a smile, pushing back the scenarios running in his head, and gives a soft pat on Younger's head. Jimin bids him a goodbye, and he too leaves from there after locking the cafe. Little did they know someone was keeping eyes on them. Maybe one of them? Jimin walks back to his apartment, careful. He could feel his heart thumping louder in his chest. Not because he is walking, but he feels like there is someone who is behind him, or always keeping eyes on him. And that's not happening with him for now. It's happening since the past few days. Since the day he decided to walk from that empty alley because he was late. But little did he know what was going to happen. While walking, Jimmy's eyes fall on the entrance of that dark alley he chose that night. He fastened his steps while still remembering the things happened that night. Those scared him deeply. Flashback. Zooming point of view. I chose to walk from this alley since I was quite late. It's the shortcut to where my apartment is. It's dark, but not as scary as I've heard people talking about. I was about to take a turn when my feet froze as I saw a man running in my direction, and before I could even process anything, he pointed his gun straight at my temple, trapping me in his one arm. I could feel his breath was uneven and he looked scared. That's when another man came there running and stopped just in front. He has a cap on his head, a black mask on his face, and a gun in his hand. Was I going to die this way, in this alley, without meeting my love? Were they going to kill me? Leave from here, otherwise. I heard the guy who was pointing his gun at me, and the guy who was standing in front took slow steps further when I felt him tightening his hold onto me, and I could feel the gun pressing on my temple more harshly.
Otherwise,
The guy wearing the mask said, his voice deep and scary, and I felt chill in my body, don't know why. I could feel my heart exploding and my whole body shivering. I will blow his head right now, the man said, quite in a hurry and trembling voice. I could somewhat feel he was scared, but I was more scared than him because the gun was pointing directly on my temple.
is that so?
The man with the mask said in that deep voice of his, and I could feel him smirking even though he was wearing a mask.
Then go for it. Do you think I care?
The man said, taking steps closer, and I was being dragged back by the guy who was holding me. Why me, God? In the fight, why I'll have to lose my life? And how could he say he doesn't care? Did I do something wrong to him? I tried to set myself free from that man, but he again held me tight. Don't move, bitch, said Suga. Put your gun down, otherwise this boy is going to lose his life.
Oh, taking advantage of my morals, huh?
The guy said, almost with a scary chuckle. They are pointing their guns at me and talking about morals.
Okay, since I don't like any innocent getting harmed because of me, I will.
I saw him bending down and putting his gun down. Drop my gun. He completed the sentence, and just then, I heard the guy who was holding me screamed in pain, and his grip loosened on me. That's when I saw a knife that was stuck in his leg. As soon as I saw, I pushed him and ran straight to that guy's direction, because that was the only way to run. For a second, I wondered how he did that when I was standing in front of him. As I ran, I almost stumbled and fell in that guy's arms with the black mask on. He caught me instantly, and for don't know what reason, I felt so different. My head almost pressed on his chest, and it gave me an unusual feeling. And all of a sudden, he held me tight and I could feel my body squeezed in his arms. He turned our positions and something hit on his back. From what I saw, I realized that the man from earlier shot a fire and it hit his back, but he was standing still like nothing happened. His hold was tight on my waist and he walked forward, making me walk backwards, almost on my toes because he was taller than I am. And then I felt the wall behind my back, and that's when he moved back, turning to face the man, and immediately fired a shot that I could still see was shot on his hand, and another shot on his shoulder, making him scream more in pain, and he fell unconscious. I gulped as I witnessed something I was not prepared for. I felt a layer of tears run through my cheeks. That's when the man turned to face me and I saw his dark eyes. Those were still seeable in the darkness, even though he has a mask and a cap on. But those were darker than anything else. I found him staring at me and it freaked me out. I wanted to run, but my feet were feeling so numb.
You okay?
I didn't expect something like that could be asked from a guy like him. Just shoot a guy dead in front of my eyes. You got a shot.
Being a mafia, I always need to carry a bulletproof jacket on my body.
Mafia?
You shouldn't be here. Go and sleep.
He said, turning back, maybe looking at the unconscious body of the man. How he could tell me to sleep after witnessing this all? I was so scared that I chose to leave, but I can't stop, as he said.
If you tell anyone about it, you'd be the one laying unconscious.
His voice seemed calm, but I could feel a threat in it, and I chose to keep my mouth shut about it. Flashback and getting those flashbacks, Jimin reached his apartment and locked it properly from inside as soon as he entered. After that night, he has been feeling someone watching him every time. Or maybe it was his mind that was being delusional. Next morning, Jimin yawned and again snuggled his head in the pillow. That seemed more soft than usual. After a few seconds, Jimin blinked his eyes open, adjusting to the sun rays that fall on his face from the window. Jimin's eyes went wide when he realized that it wasn't the window of his room. He sat up instantly and looked around only to find himself in an unfamiliar room. He freaked out and looked down at his clothes from the last night he had worn. Everything seemed normal. Then how he was in that unfamiliar room? Was he dreaming or something? He asked himself, and to his surprise, it wasn't any dream, but the room he was in was dreaming, huge, almost as huge as his whole apartment. He flinched when he heard door unlocking sound and a man entered there. As soon as the man looked at Jimin, he stopped there. Jimin stared at the man who looked handsome and his eyes somewhat felt familiar to Jimin. Who are you and why am here? Jimin tried to calm his mind, but his tongue still managed to stutter. The man said nothing but walked closer to the bed, making Jimin freak out more. Don't come near me and tell me who you are and what I'm doing here. Jimin said nervously, making the man stop there.
Didn't you recognize me?
The deep voice of the man that felt familiar shivered Jimin up, and he gulped before saying, I don't know who you are and why I'm here. The man again started to walk towards Jimin and bent over the bed, almost leaning over Jimin, who crawled back until his back touched the headboard, and he shut his eyes closed in fear when the man came more closer. For some seconds, Jimin thought that he was dreaming, and when he opened his eyes, he would be in his room. But as he opened his eyes, he was disappointed finding the man still close to him, staring in his eyes.
You really didn't recognize me?
He asked with a soft smile on his lips that was unnoticed by Jimin, as the boy was busy staring in his eyes. Jimin felt the voice and eyes familiar, and he widened his eyes as he remembered. Are you? Jimin stared deep in his eyes, and the man was waiting for an answer. Sugar? Jimin blurred out, but the man's eyes turned cold, like he was expecting something else. You are Sugar, the mafia whom I met that night. Jimin murmured, almost scared. The man immediately backed away.
So you remember me?
Why I'm here?
Why would a mafia take you in his room?
He questioned instead, making Jimin sit there properly. Your room? Did you kidnap me?
Kidnap? Yes.
Why did I do something wrong? Jimin almost freaked out, and eyes became rosy. Just then, Yoongi leaned closer to him again, held his face gently before whispering,
I don't like you being scared of me, my pet. And you did nothing wrong. But to me, you did. By stealing my heart.
Jimin paused, hearing the words of the mafia that gave goosebumps all over his body.
A petal like you doesn't deserve to live alone in this not so kind world.
Yoongi leaned closer to Jimin's face, who shut his eyes closed and clenched the blanket with his small hands, thinking the mafia was going to kiss him. And he was going to lose his first kiss to someone who was not the one he loves. But he shivered more when Yoongi bumped his nose against Jimin's and backed away slowly. Jimin was amazed, breathing heavily, stared at him with wide eyes. He wanted to deny that the cashier of the mafia fluttered his heart.
My lips can wait to meet yours until you want.
He whispered once, glancing down at Jimin's lips, then stood back properly. Jimin heaved a sigh of relief because his first kiss was safe. That's when Jimin hurriedly stood off the bed and muttered, I need to go. He almost ran past Yoongi to the door, but was grabbed by his wrist immediately by the mafia and pulled in almost a back hug. Leave me, Jimin said, trying to set himself free from his hold, and he could feel the calm breath of the mafia on his right ear from behind.
You didn't get it yet, my battle, did you? When I say you don't deserve to live alone in this not so kind world, it means you're gonna live here with me. I hope that's enough for you to understand.
He released Jimin and left after saying further,
This house is yours, and you can roam here however you like, but stepping out of here can cause consequences I don't want you to face.
Min Yoongi, the mafia, known as Suga in Underworld, though being the best in his work, he is known best for his role of not harming innocents. But he would do what he said. No one in the underground world has ever seen him. Then his trusted ones, and no one knows who exactly he is. After 2 days, as Yoongi stepped in the room, his eyes automatically went on the sleeping face of Jimin. Without him knowing, his stumbled feet walked closer to the bed. He gulped the wine down to his throat that was hanging in his hand. He sat on the floor on his knees beside the bed, staring at Jimin's face. Though being drunk, his eyes still managed to show how much he adored the small boy. He leaned closer to Jimin's face and put his free hand on the fluffy cheek of the young girl and kissed it gently. He pressed his thumb on Jimin's bouncy lips. He leaned closer and closer until his nose started brushing on Jimin's. He removed his thumb over his lips, wanting to capture those plumpy ones, but something stopped him. He moved back a bit, booping their noses, and stood out there again, gulping the wine. With stumbled feet, pumping his legs into the things coming his way, he walked towards the couch and plopped himself on it, and his lashes became heavy, letting his eyes closed. There, Jimin, who was on the bed, pretending to sleep, opened his eyes and gulped hard, his heart beating crazily. He wondered why and how the mafia was like that. For 2 days, he has been sleeping on that couch, leaving that huge bed, and more than 15 bedrooms in that big mansion. He was somewhat relieved because the mafia wasn't at least sleeping on the bed with him. Though in these 2 days, the mafia didn't do anything, but Jimin was scared because he clearly remembered what the mafia said on the first day. He was kidnapped there. What if he changed his mind and did something forcefully? Breaking the chain of his thoughts, Jimin stood off the bed, eyes fixed on Mafia's sleeping figure, and slowly stepped towards where he was sleeping on the couch. Reaching there, he carefully gazed at his face that somewhat looked calm and cute than it looks when he is awake. Jimin bent a little and carefully pulled the wine bottle away from his hand. It seemed all Greek to him because he had never had alcohol. He scrunched up his nose as he sniffed it.
That's not for you, Petal.
Mafia's hoarse voice made Jimin flinch. He moved his eyes on him only to find him laying there, still with closed eyes.
Put that down.
Jimin immediately put the bottle there and ran to bed like he wasn't standing there a few seconds ago. He immediately pulled the blanket all over his body. This reaction of Jimin brought a smile on Yoongi's lips, who didn't even spare a second to open his eyes, but it was like he saw everything. Some more days passed as Jimin tries to escape from the castle-like mansion of the mafia. He thought that the mafia didn't have any idea about him, but it was the opposite. Jimin gets to know that Mafia is obsessed with him and won't let him go easily, but there was something that was again and again encouraging him to think of getting out of there. He couldn't be stuck there for his whole life. Though Mafia didn't treat him like any object, but he still was hating him, and why not? How could he kidnap him and not let him go out? Jimin sitting on the bed, looking at the phone in his hands that was bought by the Mafia for him, as he has to grant his wish. Jimin couldn't believe when the Mafia actually bought him the new phone, but it soon turned into disappointment when he came to know that he only could contact one person with it, and that was only the Mafia. He thought he might contact Jin, knowing the Hyung must be worried about him and looking for him. Jimin sighed, remembering the things the Mafia said to him the previous night when Jimin tried to run but got caught. Flashback.
I asked why.
His voice came stern and deep, but Jimin was all silent. Everyone knew the Mafia had a calm and composed personality. He didn't raise his voice, just eyes are in. I don't want to live here in this prison. I want to go. Jimin explained himself with a reason, and Suga just let out a sigh.
How badly you wanna run away, and how badly I want you to stay. Wonder, how cannot you feel the love?
He uttered almost lost, staring at the floor. You don't. Jimin voiced out, and Yoongi again chuckled like he was tired. Tired of showing his love to Jimin, who was blind to see that. You are just obsessed with me and that's it. Jimin tried to raise his voice, but he was scared.
Obsessed.
Yoongi stepped closer to Jimin, who took steps back until he felt the cold wall touching his back. He shivered not because of the wall, but because of the man standing just inches away from him, looking at him.
You think so, my petal?
Jimin parted his lips to say something, but his throat couldn't spell a word out. Yoongi smiled, looking at the nervous face of Jimin, and put his first two fingers on his lips. He leaned on his face, making Jimin shut his eyes instantly.
You're right, actually. But did you see something else in my eyes for you? Couldn't you see love in there?
Jimin looked in those black orbs and uttered, But I hate you.
I will make it turn into love, my petal.
Yoongi challenged, gazing in Jimin's eyes. I will never love you, never ever. Jimin didn't know how he got the courage to say something challenging to him, only to see a slight smirk spreading on his lips.
Let's have a bet then.
Jimin blinked his eyes for a while to register the statement in his system.
Are you afraid to accept the bet, my petal?
His flirty smirk widened more, finding Jimin blank. I'm not afraid, I accept it. And if you fail to do that, you let me go untouched. He said, challenging because he believed he never was going to like the Mafia even a bit. Then falling for him was so far. Yoongi moved back and said before leaving,
I'm eager to see when you confess to me within the next month.
Flashback end. Jimin heard the sound of heels, assuming that Yoongi might come there any second. He dragged the blanket over his whole body, snuggling his head under the blanket. The door got unlocked and he knew Yoongi was there.
Come and have your dinner.
Suga said as he kept the tray of food on the table, but Jimin decided not to respond.
I know you aren't sleeping, and I don't want you to sleep without having dinner.
He again spoke, but Jimin remained silent. He's doing it because he wants me to think that he cares for me. Jimin murmured under his breath.
Do you want me to feed you in my way, my petal?
His voice laced with calmness. Cannot you see I'm sleeping? Jimin almost yelled, sitting there, but regretted instantly as looked at the Mafia staring at him. He gulped and saw Yoongi stood off the couch and walked towards the bed. He has heard the Mafia isn't someone who obeys anyone raising their voice on him, and it made him curse himself. Before he could even say anything, Yoongi leaned closer to his face. Meanwhile, Jimin shivered in fear as the Mafia raised his hand. He closed his eyes instantly in fear of getting a slap, but he felt the long hand cupped his face gently. That made his eyes shoot open, wide and surprised.
Didn't I ask you to not get scared of me? And you have all the rights to raise your voice on me. I'm already yours.
He muttered, kissing Jimin's cheek with his thumb, who was surprised by this behavior of Yoongi.
I would bear all your tantrums and spoil you with everything you ask for even once. This is my promise, and it's not meant to be broken, Jiminy.
Jimin's heart skipped its beat, didn't know why. Was that because of the words he said? Because of the nickname he just gave him? Because of the soft kisses on his cheeks? Because of those eyes staring in his ones? Or because Yoongi leaned more closer to his face and moved their noses? He stood and left after saying,
Eat something.
Jimin was stunned. Why the mafia does it every time? And why do I feel this way? No, I need to get out of here. I cannot feel this way. This is all wrong. I'm not feeling anything. I'm not. Jimin reminded himself. Time flied in its pace as Jimin found himself stuck there. More he tried to avoid those unknown feelings, more they were knocking on the door of his heart. Yoongi's surreal behavior, Jimin wasn't able to quite digest. The cold yet calm behavior with others and sweet, flirty with behavior towards him. He thought maybe Yoongi was doing it purposely to make Jimin fall for him. And that's one of the reasons he was denying to accept what his heart was indicating him. But he couldn't deny the fact that he was feeling something really strange about Yoongi. Why he was seeming something familiar. Someone Jimin knew for a long time. But he was so invested in the thought he can never fall for a person like him that he was pushing away what his unconscious mind was conveying him. He decided he will escape from there at any cost, even if he has to fight. Making up his mind, he walked towards a home bar where Yoongi usually drinks, nervous, scared, yet determined that either do or die. As he reached there, found Yoongi standing there making himself a drink.
Anything, Jimina?
He asked Jimin without even looking at him, who was stunned as how he knew he was there when he didn't even look at him.
I can recognize you just from your breath, the way your heart thumps, the way you walk, and the way you smell. There's no need to get stunned.
He said, once glancing at Jimin, and a smile played on his lips as he turned to continue whatever he was doing. Jimin felt like his mind was just read by him, effortlessly. His thoughts were interrupted by Yoongi again.
Say it now. Are you here to confess?
I don't want to live here anymore. Jimin demanded like he owned everything there. Yoongi held there for a couple of seconds and chuckled again.
Afraid that you'll fall for me if you stayed closer more?
I don't, and I can never follow a person like you.
You can, and you have. Just denying your feelings, ain't you?
Said Yoongi, still busy preparing his drink. I have only one feeling for you, and that is hate. That's what I feel for you. Jimin decided that he was not going to listen anything the mafia was putting up.
In the depths of your hatred, there's something hidden. That's called love. Am I the first one to tell you that you are bad at lying?
He said calmly, sipping the drink. I don't love you and can never do. I will never fall for you because I already love someone. Sugar finally turned to face Jimin, whose eyes had tears glistening in them.
No, you don't.
He denied because he didn't believe it, or he wanted it to be just a lie. But Jimin's next words, those came out like a confirmation, made Yoongi's smile disappear. I love someone already, and I will always love you. I'm already his, and there's no way I'm gonna fall for you. No way. Jimin let out almost breathlessly, and tears fall from his eyes, those he wiped harshly. Yoongi, who couldn't quite register what he just heard, was silent, clenching his jaw. His eyes showed the color red. and there he felt a massive pain in his heart. The wine glass that was in his left hand was crushed badly as he held it tight, making it break into pieces. Along with the broken pieces, the blood fall on the ground that didn't go unnoticed by Jimin's eyes. Those widened as he witnessed it. Jimin gulped as Yoongi started stepping towards him. Slow, steady, yet dangerous at the moment. Jimin walked backwards till his back hit the wall behind and he was trapped in Yoongi's arms, resting by the either sides of the wall.
Say this again.
Yoongi almost uttered with a dangerous glare, facing Jimin's arm. It was like a warning, but Jimin was all ready to risk it. I love some. His words were cut off by the sudden hit on the wall beside Jimin, and his eyes got shut closed because of the punch just beside his head. Yoongi leaned closer to his face until their noses were crushing onto each other. Jimin could feel the hot yet unsteady breath falling on his lips. His eyes met with Yoongi's only to find those turning more dark than they were ever once. And most surprising thing was to witness tears in his eyes. Without Jimin knowing, his heart felt uneven, seeing tears in Yoongi's eyes. He felt like something was stinking in his heart. He couldn't understand what was that unpleasant feeling.
You are just mine. You aren't meant to think of anyone else but me. You are not meant to belong to anyone else but me. I am the only one to own you. Your soul, your body, your eyes, your heart, everything belongs to me.
Yoongi declared in a low, hoarse voice, clenching his jaw, staring deep in Jimin's eyes. True, he wasn't someone to raise his voice, and especially on Jimin. Jimin twisted his hands on the sides and shut closed his eyes as Yoongi leaned closer to his lips, just an inch to meet, holding his chin. Jimin's sudden thought was to let their lips meet. Yoongi's hot breath lingering on his lips was fluttering his heart, but all of a sudden, Yoongi turned Jimin's face to other side by his chin. His eyes were closed, jaw clenching, and he moved back instantly, like something pulled him back. He rushed out of there without even glancing at him. Jimin just saw Yoongi walk away in anger. The whole scene flashed in his mind, making him weak on his knees, and he leaned down against the wall. His eyes were shedding tears for some unknown reason, but he knew he was feeling hurt and denying that the tears in Yoongi's eyes, pain he felt in his eyes, was affecting him. He was hating himself for feeling that way for Yoongi because he had someone else in his heart already, and that someone wasn't Yoongi. He cried his heart out that night because this was the least he could do. 2 days later, Jimin's point of view. I'm here sitting on the bed and can't help but to feel this unstoppable pang in my heart. Not getting peace here and in any corner of this big mansion. Or maybe will not get it anywhere else. Confused, puzzled, and miserable at the point when I think all the things are seeming colorless and uninteresting. This room. It's not comfortable anymore without him. Without him, it's eating me up from inside. I'm feeling miserable because it's not what I was supposed to feel. Not at all. I feel like he's someone I know for real. Is he really someone I know? It's just a delusion. Why those tears in his eyes have this influence on me? Why it hurts to see him hurt. Close my eyes, letting out a sigh, leaning back on the headboard of the bed.
Jimin!
Jimin was flinched by the sudden shout and was fast to get off the bed.
Jimin, come down!
Jimin was scared of the way he was being called downstairs by none other than Yoongi, who was never a raise his voice man. It scared the shit out of him. He ran barefoot before the storm could come and destroy him. As he reached there running, he was welcomed with a scene that was quite perplexed to register. A man holding a gun but scared. If Jimin vaguely remembered, the guy was one of Yoongi's guards. There his eyes finally got a relief seeing Yoongi after 2 days. Anything else seemed uninteresting to his eyes, though just wished to admire the mafia sitting there on the couch in all black. He was brought back by Yoongi's voice.
He is here. Go ahead.
Yoongi told the man. Jimin was bewildered of the things happening. His confused eyes traveled between the man holding a gun and Yoongi. The man with the gun, terrified and gulped visibly to Yoongi's words. He was known to the things going to happen, unlike Jimin.
I said shoot him.
Yoongi rode behind the man, making every one of them standing there startled. The man with shaking hands lifted the gun up, pointing at Jimin, making him all shocked. Why Suga was ordering the man to shoot at him? Was he going to die? Jimin thought. The man was now pointing his gun at Jimin, but the sweat dripping from his head, shaking hands, and his eye movements were clear indications of his terrified state. Yoongi, who was seated on the couch, stood and took a few steps closer to the man. Yoongi's presence behind him made the man gulp down.
Didn't you want to kill him? See, I made you work easy. Now, you won't have to put efforts.
Yoongi said, but it was hard to understand if it was in sarcasm or being said in seriousness.
Why are you afraid now?
Yoongi now held his both hands, standing just behind and aimed at Jimin, while his chin was almost resting on man's shoulder.
Aim and fire.
He muttered almost like ordering. His lips curved into a smile, and nothing could be more painful than the grin on his lips when his eyes met with Jimin's. The man shivered in fear and wanted to drop the gun, but how harshly Yoongi's grip was around his hand, making it all impossible. This was not less than any manic behavior Jimin was witnessing of Yoongi's.
You know what?
He said to the man, but his eyes didn't leave Jimin, like he was conveying it to Jimin.
I love this boy standing here so damn much that I'm willing to do anything possible for him. How pathetic that he already loves someone else.
His voice came more like a sarcasm, but his eyes were enough to indicate the pain behind that smile.
So, why not just kill him rather than seeing him with anyone else?
He once glanced at the man with a smirk, who shook his head twice, but Suga tightly held his hands again. His eyes again met Jimin's. Those had nothing but tears. He wasn't afraid because he strongly believed that Yoongi wasn't going to harm him, not at any point. Their eyes never looked away, and then Suga pulled the trigger. As predicted, Jimin was standing there still, without any harm, because there wasn't bullet in him. The man's eyes, those were closed, opened wide. He sighed, glanced at Suga, who had a smirk on his lips.
You really thought I would harm him? Let anyone harm him.
His eyes went darker and smirk fell when he pointed the gun at the man's head.
I would burn every single of them who think of giving even a scratch on my love's body.
Please, I will never think of harming him. Please let me go. The man fell on his knees, pleading in front of Yoongi.
You'll not be able to harm him, you know.
Yoongi smirked, looking at the gun. The man continued to plead for his life, but Yoongi bent, pointing the gun at his head, and without a second gap, pulled the trigger, but it was again a miss. The man who had closed his eyes finally opened them, only to see himself alive. The fear, terror on his face was visible. His hands, intertwined, prayed in front of the mafia, who let out a dark chuckle. He enjoyed the written terror on the man's face that Jimin was watching quietly. The next moment, everyone flinched when Yoongi fired at the couch in the hall. He continued firing until fourth bullet was fired. Yoongi left without a single word further, and the man was dragged out of there, somewhere Jimin didn't know. Only thing he knew was he wanted to talk to Yoongi. He wanted to tell him about how restless he was, but the night was again silent because Yoongi was not there in the mansion, or if he was, Jimin was unaware of it. It was 2 at night. Jimin was sleeping after being mentally tired of the things running in his head. Yoongi stepped in the room all wasted, eyes red and swollen, as if he had been crying for hours. His legs eventually walked to the bed direction, where Jimin was sleeping, and he kneeled down beside the bed to admire the one he has countless love for.
Was I really nothing? Promised you'd wait, but you didn't. Why you don't even remember me? Was waiting for you since 15 years, Minnie. How could you forget your uni?
Yoongi whispered, catching Jimin's cheek softly, while the day flashed in front of his eyes. Flashback. Why are you going? Jimin, around the age of 7, asked Yoongi, who was sitting just beside him on the bed. I need to go, Minnie. Yoongi, who was seeming older than him, replied with a calm yet sad tone. I will miss you, Yoongi. The small boy mumbled, gripping his face over his pants, looking down when tears rolled down through his bubbly, fluffy, cute cheeks. I will miss you more, Minnie. Yoongi said, pulling the younger one in his embrace. But I promise I will come back. Jimin pulled back from the hug and looked at Yoongi with those glossy eyes, so shining in optimism. Would you? Jimin asked innocently. Yes, Minnie. Yoongi said with a smile on his lips, wiping the tears off the fluffy boy with his small fingers. Will you wait for me? Yes, I will. I will always. Jimin promised, nodding his head with a big grin on his face, and his eyes turned crescent white. They heard a blurred voice calling Yoongi, who stood there immediately. But before walking away, he stopped there standing in front of Jimin and held his face softly, placing a soft kiss on his nose. Flashback end. Yoongi's eyes flickered some tears, those he wiped before standing on the floor. He walked to the other side of the bed and laid beside Jimin, because he didn't want to feel alone and broken. Maybe it was the alcohol or his emotions, those were taking over him. He wanted to embrace Jimin like there's no tomorrow. He moved closer and wrapped both of his arms around Jimin's belly, pulling him closer from behind. It startled Jimin and he awoke from his sleep. He panicked and tried to move, but froze when Yoongi snuggled more onto his neck. Yoongi whispered against Jimin's skin on his neck that gave goosebumps all over his body. His heartbeat increased when he felt Yoongi's lips touch his skin. He couldn't help but to bite his lower lip when Yoongi's lips moved on his neck, giving wet kisses, and his hands kissed Jimin's stomach under his t-shirt. It was as if Yoongi was marking Jimin, and Jimin was letting him do so. After a minute of good, Yoongi stopped, but his lips were still on Jimin's neck, those he could not feel because his skin there was feeling numb. He immediately turned to face Yoongi. He couldn't stop tears welling up in his eyes as soon as he faced him. He put his hand on Yoongi's cheeks and kissed it softly, though he was smelling half mint and half alcohol. Jimin wanted to say a lot but could nothing because he didn't know what to say. He liked how Yoongi was leaning on his touch and they were close, with some inches of gap. Yoongi's hand reached Jimin's face and they leaned closer, not just Yoongi but Jimin also. Jimin closed his eyes, feeling Yoongi's lips just inches away. But instead of feeling Yoongi's lips on his voice, he felt a kiss on his nose. His eyes instantly opened wide and he stared amused at Yoongi, who whispered before passing out.
I love you.
Without Jimin knowing, his eyes again welled up with tears and he felt something unusual in his heart. He stared deep at his face and so many things rushed in his mind like a flood. The first question roamed in his head was, why? Why you did that? Why you kissed me on the nose? He stared deep at Yoongi's face and more he was doing so, more he was feeling a heartache. Why Yoongi was so comforting? Why Jimin wanted to embrace him? The next moment, Jimin embraced him, almost snuggling himself in Yoongi's chest, pushing all the scenarios running in his head because he wanted to escape. And his embrace was the only thing that seemed a way to do so at the moment. He closed his eyes when Yoongi's arms wrapped around him. Not fearing anything or thinking about the consequences, Jimin slept in Yoongi's arms like there's no tomorrow. Next morning, Jimin woke up with a yawn and sat up on the bed, still with closed eyes, when some scenes from last night flashed in his mind, and he instantly looked beside only to find no one beside him. Again, his mind filled with the same question he had slept with last night. I need to talk to him. I need to know why he kissed on my nose. He flinched from a vibration of a phone that was on the nightstand on the other side. Jimin crawled towards the other side of the bed, standing in front of the nightstand, looking at the vibrating phone that was not his but Yoongi's. It was Namjoon who was calling. Jimin has heard about from others in the mansion and many times seen him with Yoongi. It was vibrating continuously, so Jimin decided to disconnect the call by finding Yoongi around. As he held up the phone, a hand snatched the phone away from his hand, and Jimin was quick to look behind only to see Yoongi. Before Jimin even could whisper his name, Yoongi retorted,
Who gave you the permission to touch my phone? Be in your limits.
More than Yoongi's voice, his words were cold. That somewhere pinched Jimin's heart unknowingly, and his words were just stuck in his throat. As Yoongi stepped away to leave, Jimin said, I want to talk about something. His voice was low, carrying a heaviness. Yoongi was stopped there but didn't look back at him for one side before saying, Last night
Whatever I did was because I was wasted. And you are seeming all fine.
But
If something else happened, then I don't remember it. And I don't think it's necessary to remember.
Yoongi left from there without listening what Jimin wanted to say. Time skip. Yoongi dialed the number sitting on the chair of his office room, and within a ring it was answered. Hey Shubha!
Hi J-Hope. Have some work. Are you available?
Such a rude ass. Say,
You need to take someone here.
means kidnap?
Something like that. Go to Busan and I'll mail you all the details.
Jimin sat blankly, staring at the ceiling of the room. Gotcha. Hobie disconnected the call and Yoongi just put down his phone, closing his eyes. No one knew what was in his mind. Other side, Busan. Here he is. Jin muttered to himself, dialing Jimin's number, standing out of his apartment. The man was desperate to meet Jimin because his phone was switched off and he was nowhere to be found. Countless of times he had visited his house and called him in every 20 minutes in these past few days since Jimin has been missing, but he couldn't find him. He was worried sick, asked the owner of the apartment and talked to the neighbors if they knew anything about the boy, but he was disappointed knowing no one had any clue. He even filed a missing complaint in the police station, but every time he visited there, he only got disappointed. He sat on the stairs and heaved a sigh with almost teary eyes. He was worried and helpless. His phone buzzed, and even not wanting to talk, he still picked it up because it was his boyfriend. Hey, you got to know where he is? The guy from the other line asked concernedly. Not yet, Johnny. I've asked everyone, even went to the orphanage, but couldn't find him anywhere. It may be that he went for some work, Jim. There's no way he would go anywhere without informing me. And that too for this long. That night I got his text and he reached, but next morning he didn't text me, call me or even inform me. I should haven't let him go that night. I should have better asked him to stay with me. It's all my fault. Jim couldn't hold the tears those had been threatening in his eyes for a minute. Hey, calm down, Jim. It's not your fault. Don't blame yourself. I'm coming there tomorrow and then we'll find him, okay? Namjoon consoled him and after a while they ended the call. Other side. As Namjoon cut the call, he entered a room. I need to go to Busan for some day, Sugar.
Wait.
Yoongi asked, almost unbothered. It's something urgent. Namjoon replied shortly. Yoongi hummed and Namjoon again walked but stopped facing Yoongi before asking. Oh, well, did your mini recognize you? Yoongi couldn't help but to remember the things happened.
You should go.
He simply said because he didn't want to remember any of the things that happened. I'll be back in 2 days.
You should better.
Yoongi now faced Namjoon.
Our enemy is still out of our range. He even once tried to hunt someone precious, and we know he will soon. And after knowing what I did with his spy, he must be looking for seeking revenge.
Yoongi voiced out, staring blankly. There wasn't any fear in his voice, not in his eyes, but his heart. That was fearing to lose someone precious than anything or anyone else. Someone who was not here. Namjoon left knowing the pressure they were in, but his boyfriend needed him and he needed to be there with him. Time skip. Namjoon reached Busan and not wasting a single second, he drove up toward Jin's house because he closed the cafe and decided to not open until he finds Sun. Though it wasn't their date, Jin still prepared the food Namjoon likes. Jin opened the door as soon as the doorbell rang, as if he was just there waiting for him. Namjoon was quick to embrace Jin in his arms as soon as the door was opened. Jin melted in the strong arms of his boyfriend, whose lips formed into a soft smile, and cherry on top were those dimples. I missed you, Jenny. Namjoon whispered, almost squeezing Jin in her. I missed you a lot, Juna. Jin voiced out slowly, looking up in Namjoon's eyes, still in the hug. Both leaned in and shared a quick yet loving kiss. They sat down on the couch in the living room beside each other. Though Jin was trying to hide that was in his head, Namjoon still could feel it. I know you are worried about Jimmy, and I'm here to do anything to help find him. So don't worry, Namjoon comforted Jin, who sighed before giving a nod. I made us your favorite food. We should have that first. After their lunch, they again settled on the couch, almost cuddling, and Jin said, should I make another missing complaint, June? Send me all his details. But how are you gonna find him? I have my ways. You trust me, right? Namjoon questioned, though knowing Jin trusts him the most. Of course I do. I'm just worried where and in what condition you would be. Be optimistic. Namjoon said, running his fingers through Jin's hair. Jin picked up his phone from the table, still laying in Namjoon's embrace, because he didn't want to leave the home-like embrace of his boyfriend. Within a few seconds, he sent the information he had of Jimin to Namjoon, whose phone dinged multiple times because of notifications. Namjoon too picked up his phone, but as soon as he clicked on the pictures, his mind froze and he mused, Mimi? Jin couldn't hear it and asked, looking at Namjoon's blank face, what happened? Is he Jimin? Like your friend Jimin? Yes, he's Jimin, Park Jimin. Jin answered this time, sitting up there on the couch. Namjoon too sat looking again and again at Jimin's photo. He realized how short the world is. The person his best friend loved is the same person his boyfriend was looking for. Do you by any chance know him? Did you see him anywhere? Did you meet him anywhere? Jin questioned desperately, finding Namjoon looking at Jimin's picture. All of a sudden didn't know what to say. He what? Did you see him? Tell me already, Namjoon. He's with Sugar. Namjoon only could say it, making Jin's eyes wide. Sugar? You mean that mafia? What is he doing? What is he doing there? Why? How? And how do you know? Did he kidnap Jimin? He kidnapped him, but why? Is he harming him? Jimin is so innocent, June. He can never harm him, Jin. Not even an inch of him. And how you are so sure about it? Because he loves Jimin. He is madly in love with him. What? Jimin blinked in shock, and a visible disbelief was seen on his face. Wait, how do you know about it? Jin questioned with a reason, and Namjoon heaved a sigh before holding him by his shoulder. You believe me, don't you? Then you must believe what I'm gonna tell you now. I didn't know truth would reveal this way, but if it's this way, then come to the point, June. I'm Sugar's right hand, Aram. As he said, there was a silence in the room for a few seconds. Jin thought he must have heard something wrong, but he knew he didn't. His boyfriend, whom he was dating for 2 years, is the right hand of the mafia. and he was unaware of it. I know I didn't tell you. You were deceiving me since 2 years. How could you hide such a big thing from me? Jin felt betrayed and anger rushed in him, but he knew it wasn't the right time to express it. I'm sorry, but let me explain. Is that why you know about Shubha being in love with him? Yes, you ain't angry on me for not telling about me? Namjoon questioned, not sure if he should have asked that or not. Correction, it's not like you didn't tell me. You hid it from me, and for 2 years. Now Namjoon knew Jin was angry. But that's not my concern now. It's Jimin who has all my head now. And I wanna see him. I wanna meet him and know how he is. He's all fine there. Shubha loves him. And what about Jimin? Does he love Shubha? Before Namjoon could say anything, Jin again spoke. Jimin loves someone already. What's the point? He cannot keep Jimin there, you know. He isn't some slave or prisoner. But if someday he harms Jimin just to satisfy his ego? I know Jimin loves someone else, Shubha told me. See? He knows. He knows, but he's still keeping Jimin there. Why? Is it love? No. It's just his obsession, Namjoon, and Jimin loves that person so much. Do you even know for how long he is loving him, waiting for him? Waiting? Jimin is waiting for him for almost 15 years, Jonah. And he even collected money to go and find him. He never even looked at anyone else. He loved him with all his heart. He loves him not even knowing how he looks, where he is, and if he still remembers Jimin or not. And you know what? When I told him to move on, you know what he said? Flashback. Come on, Jimin, don't be so silly. Jin said to Jimin, who faced his young. I said I don't want to date anyone young. And why so? I love someone. You know that, don't you? That's someone who never came to find you. That's someone who doesn't even know about your existence. But he exists, young. And I know he will come. He promised. How are you so sure he will come? Did he come in these 15 years? Leave that. Did he even try to contact you? And if you think he didn't have any way, then you're fooling yourself. You're just wasting your time. I'm not young. And I know he'll come one day. And when that day gonna come? I'll be happy if that day comes, Jimin, but is there any guarantee? Be logical, Jimin. You were just kids back then. What if he doesn't remember you now? What if he never came? Then I'll go find him. And then, what if you find him and then he refused to recognize you? Or he said he wasn't serious or didn't mean anything in that way? What if he has someone else in his life now? Jin reasoned out, making Jimin pause. His words pinched Jimin's heart, but he didn't want to believe it. He had a hope to meet him again. I know we will meet young. I have a hope in me, and even if it's just my delusion, I still don't want to come out of it. I love him and I always will, even if it hurts. Jimin said with a hope glistening in his eyes. Jin heaved a sigh and patted Jimin's shoulder. Then I wish it's not a delusion. Flashback end. That's how he loves him. Namjoon, who was listening closely, asked, Is his name Yuni, the person Jimin loves? How do you know it's Yuni? Jin questioned, totally confused, but Namjoon knew what was happening. We need to go to Daegu right now. Namjoon declared, standing up the couch, making Jin more confused, who also stood there. But why Daegu? I will tell you on the way. Namjoon immediately dragged Jin out of there, holding his hand. Jimin came downstairs looking for Yoongi, whom he hadn't seen since yesterday morning when he left. His heartbeat increased when he saw Yoongi sitting on the big couch of the hall. His slow, yet heavy steps reached the mat beneath the couch. Yoongi, who sensed Jimin's presence there even without sparing a glance at him, was sitting there unbothered. Can we talk? Jimin uttered hesitantly, biting his lips. Yoongi stood off the couch and walked past Jimin to leave because he didn't want to talk anything with him, like he had nothing to say or he was deaf to hear. As he walked past, Jimin gripped Yoongi's shirt on the arm, making him halt. Just tell me one thing and I won't bother you again. Jimin said in a breath, making Yoongi look at him.
Say,
Why did you kiss me that night?
is that what you're concerned about?
He stepped closer to Jimin, staring deep in his eyes. That of course made him cry. Tilting his head to right with a slight smirk on his lips, Yoongi spoke.
I can do even more than you have ever imagined.
His deep, harsh tone made Jimin's heart skip its beat, and his cheeks turned crimson red unknowingly. But the next sentence Yoongi said was something that pinched his heart. I would do that to anyone who comes in my way, so don't overget yourself someone really important. Jimin just stared in Yoongi's eyes, though he could feel not having any emotions. Or maybe he could see something unexplainable. I think he was sure of that. His heart was burning with mixed emotions, jealousy, possessiveness, and a bit of hurt. He wanted Yoongi to take back his words and say that only Jimin has rights on him. Jimin? A sudden voice grabbed the attention that was familiar to Jimin, but not to Yoongi. They both knew the person when they faced him. Jinya? Jimin whispered, not believing whom he was seeing, and there beside him was Namjoon. Without wasting a second further, Jimin ran to him and hugged him tightly, so did Jin. Young, Jiminy, how are you? Do you know how much I've missed you? How much I've looked for you? Jin said, whatever his heart let out at the moment. His heart finally felt a relief when Jimin was in his arms. He backed away and cupped Jimin's face gently. You are alright, ain't you? Jimin gave a slight nod with a smile on his lips, but his eyes were already shedding tears. I was so worried sick about you. Jin's eyes went numb while kissing Jimin's cheek. I'm all fine, young. Jimin couldn't help but to smile with tears, holding Jin's hand on his face. Yoongi, who was watching it all with a blank face, walked from there, and Namjoon, who was confused for a moment at Yoongi's strange behavior, followed him behind because it was unusual that Yoongi didn't ask about him, but he needed to talk to him and clear up all the mess. We need to talk, Suga.
Did Jeho ask you to bring him here?
Yoongi simply asked, but Namjoon was confused. Whom?
Kim Seokjin.
What? Namjoon looked more confused than before. Wait. I need to tell you something really important, Suga.
What could be more important than his lover being here?
His lover? Whom are you talking about, Suga? I cannot understand anything.
He is the one Minnie loves.
Whom?
Kim Seokjin.
What? Namjoon exclaimed in confusion, but being a genius mind, he got what was happening. Kim Seokjin, Jimin's lover. You're crazy, Suga. He's not the one Jimin loves, but you.
Me? Why do you think so?
Suga, Jin is my boyfriend, not the one Jimin loves. Namjoon said because he knew Yoongi was taking it all wrong.
What?
Yes, didn't I tell you about my boyfriend? It's a coincidence that he's friends with Minnie. He told me about Jimin being missing, so I went there to meet him, and that's when I came to know that Jimin is your Minnie. And why do you think I would take Jin here to meet Jimin? They work together in a cafe. You know it, don't you?
I know, but I asked Jeho to bring Jin here, and I thought he brought him here.
And why so? But you going to harm Jin?
No, Namjoon. I was not going to do anything like that.
Then the reason behind asking Jeho to bring him here?
I don't know. I just thought.
You assumed that it's Jin whom Jimin loves, didn't you? But it's not him, but you, Suga. It's you, Min Yoongi. He's Yooni, whom he loves since the first day.
What?
Yes, it's you, Yoongi. Jin told me this all. Namjoon explained whatever Jin had told him about Jimin. Yoongi was totally blank after what Namjoon told him. He didn't know what he was feeling at the moment and how he was supposed to react. You assumed everything without knowing the truth, Yoongi. Namjoon spoke, interrupting Yoongi's thought. You should have better told Jimin who you are than assuming that he didn't remember you. Just think, Yoongi. When you left, you were just only 10 and he was only 7 years old. After almost these 15 years of gap, how he was supposed to recognize you at the first place? When you saw him that night, were you sure he was Jimin? No, you searched about him and then you got to know. Namjoon's question had a point, and now Yoongi regretted not telling Jimin anything. If he had told him at the first place, none of them would suffer. Jimin sat on the couch all shocked after hearing what Jin told him. His head spun and didn't know how to react and what to feel. How I couldn't recognize him. How Jin Young, he was in front of me and I didn't recognize him. I was trying to hit him. I was hurting him. Jimin's lips wobbled as he sat while letting the tears fall through his chubby cheeks. Jin, who was seated beside him, held him by his shoulders, giving a gentle pat. Now when you know, go to him and confess everything, Jimin. Jin suggested. On that, Jimin looked at him in the eyes. How am I supposed to after hurting him? That was just a misunderstanding, Jimin. And don't you think he too owe you an apology? Jin reasoned out, making Jimin give a nod, and he stood wiping the tears off his cheeks. He determined he had a lot to complain to Yoongi, but as soon as his eyes fell on him, standing far, it all vanished from his head, and the only thing he craved for was to be in his embrace and let out all the love he asked for him. Both had a lot to say, but their lips were sealed, like they could read everything in their eyes. Before both could think or do anything further, a gunshot was fired, and the vase on the table beside Yoongi was blasted into pieces on the ground. They all widened their eyes. Yoongi looked around only to find Ha Jae-won, his enemy. Yoongi knew if he was there means his guards were already gone, but at the moment, Jimin and Jim's life seemed more important than anything else to him. He looked for his gun, but cursed himself because he left it in the room. The mafia is afraid, huh? Jae-won smirked, looking at Yoongi, and stepped towards Jimin with slow steps.
Dare even touch him, Ha Jae-won.
Yoongi warned, making Jae-won let out a chuckle, pointed his gun at Jimin. You seriously daring me, Shubha? Maybe you still didn't get your situation, did you? Your guards are dead. Your bare hands with my men around you, and there's no one to help you.
You think so?
Yoongi questioned with a frown. Jae-won looked around for a second and laughed. This guy will help you. Jae-won now faced him. I'm sorry, but not sorry that you'll have to die for nothing. I didn't expect anyone else than him and his lover, but he pointed his gun at Jin, whose eyes widened.
He has nothing to do with anything, Ha Jae-won. Let him go. Neither him nor Jimin.
Yoongi interrupted because he didn't want anyone to get harmed because of him. You think so? Let me remind you that you snatched my love from me. I'm gonna do the same.
How delusional you are to think that Taeyong loved you.
Kim Taeyong is mine, and I will kill you before making him my... He screamed at Yoongi, losing his control.
I did wrong giving you a chance, but not again.
Yoongi said, and a gun was thrown in his direction that he grabbed instantly and fired at Jae-won's hand, who screamed because of the shot and gun fall from his hand. Jin looked around only to see Namjoon with his gun, for whom he was waiting. Namjoon signaled something to Jin, who crouched down on the floor, pulling Jimin with him. Within a few seconds, there were a lot of fires, and then Jae-won's guards were on the ground because Namjoon and Yoongi fired constantly. Namjoon walked ahead and pointed his gun at Jae-won, who was shocked, saying in there, You are here? Should have get full information before stepping in landscape. And I'm gonna pull your tongue out for calling my brother's name with this mouth of yours. Jin and Jimin stood up carefully while eyeing everything around. The scene was something both never expected to witness. Honey, Jimin whispered, looking at Yoongi with tears in his eyes. He couldn't help but to run to Yoongi to embrace him, who can say to hide himself. He couldn't stay even a bit away from him anymore. Yoongi's attention went on Jimin, and for some seconds, Namjoon gazed at Jin. That was a good opportunity for Jaewon to grab his gun that was just a few feet away from him, and he was quick to grab it by his uninjured hand. He instantly fired at Jimin, who was unaware of it, but Yoongi saw it coming, and immediately pulled Jimin in his embrace to cover him, taking the fire on himself. Jimin, Namjoon and Jin widened their eyes. Yoongi almost fell on the ground with a jolt, but Jimin was quick to hold him in his arms in a sitting position. Namjoon instantly pulled on the trigger and fired at Jaewon's other hand too, making him scream again in pain, and hit on a specific area of his head to make him unconscious. Jin ran to him and held his hand with a worried glance. Uni, please wake up. Please don't close your eyes. Please, Uni, please wake up. I need to tell you a lot of things. You cannot leave me alone like this. You said you were eager to hear me confess to you. Please wake up now. Please, I love you. I accept it, Uni. I love you. Please wake up. Please say something. Jimin couldn't help but to cry uncontrollably, hugging Yoongi's unconscious body tightly. There, Namjoon was standing blank and Jin had tears in his eyes, witnessing Jimin crying like a mess. His heart clenched, but he noticed something unusual and looked closely at Yoongi. Then his gaze shifted on Namjoon. Namjoon held Jin's hand tightly, stopping him whatever he was about to say. And Jin just looked confusedly at him, then at Jimin. I need to say sorry for hurting you. I need to apologize for not recognizing you. Don't punish me this way. Don't. Please get up and punish me. Punish me for not recognizing you. Jimin was continuously crying, holding Yoongi tight.
You sure wanna get punished?
Jimin froze, hearing the sudden voice that came from none other than Yoongi. He immediately backed away from the hug and found Yoongi gazing at him. Yuni? Jimin whispered before throwing himself in Yoongi's arms again. Yuni, don't leave me, please. I've waited so long. Please don't leave me. Jimin felt himself wrapped in Yoongi's arms tightly. That only made Jimin cling more onto him, like he will disappear if Jimin left him.
I'm not leaving you, Minnie.
Yoongi pulled Jimin closer by his waist and stroked his hair softly with another one. Jimin remembered something and pulled out immediately. We need to get to hospital. You need to. Yoongi pulled Jimin closer by holding his hand, and Jimin was dragged on his lap, and it made Jimin widen his eyes.
Calm down, my better.
Yoongi kissed Jimin's cheeks with a smile, making him blink in confusion.
Didn't I say, being a mafia, I always need to carry a bulletproof jacket on my body?
That's when Jimin noticed that there wasn't any blood on Yoongi. Means he was fine. Why you didn't tell me? I was dying and you... Jimin complained while still tears shedding from his eyes.
How could I, when you were confessing so damn cutely? How could I interrupt when I've waited so long to hear it, Jiminy?
You are so bad. So bad. I was dying and you were enjoying it. Yoongi again pulled Jimin in his embrace, snuggling his head in his neck. You're gonna spend the rest of your life this way. Namjoon's voice interrupted them, and Jimin tried to get off Yoongi's lap, but he was tightly held back by his waist.
Either close your eyes or leave.
Yoongi's voice came as a muffle, and Jimin was left there with a blush. Should get the surroundings, I guess. Namjoon said, glancing around. Jaewon and his man were there on the ground, and they needed to take them out because they weren't dead but unconscious. But the mafia didn't have any plan to leave his baby any sooner. He didn't care of anything else but the one sitting on his lap hugging him. He wanted the time to stop. He wanted that hug to last longer. Time skipped. Yoongi walked in the room only to find Jimin sitting on the bed, lost in his thoughts. He was out for some work Jimin was unaware of. As he stepped forward, Jimin looked at him. Though Yoongi couldn't hear it, but he read Jimin's lips movements. Both could feel things had changed between them, but Yoongi knew he had a lot to explain to Jimin, so wasting not any moment further, he walked toward the bed and sat on the edge facing Jimin.
Meaning?
Both said at the same time. It was awkward, but both knew they needed to talk it out.
I'm sorry.
Both again uttered at the same time and couldn't help but to chuckle. Can I go first? Jimin asked low, with quiet nervousness, though knowing Yoongi would never stop him.
You don't need anyone's permission to speak, Minnie.
Why you didn't call me Minnie earlier? Do you know how much I have waited to hear it? Jimin complained while tears streamed in his eyes.
I thought you forgot me and when you didn't recognize me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not recognizing you. I don't know how I couldn't recognize you when I was waiting for you. I don't know how I couldn't. I always felt something strange around me, but I always ignored it. When I looked at you, there was something in my heart, but I couldn't understand it. I didn't want to look at you because I thought it would be cheating. I didn't want to cheat on you.
It's all my fault, Jiminy. I'm sorry. Instead of telling the truth, I misunderstood everything and hurt you.
Everything flashed in Yoongi's eyes like a movie he did. Jimmy shook his head in disagreement when tears streamed on his fluffy cherry cheeks, those Yoongi didn't like. It's my fault. How I couldn't recognize you. Yoongi moved closer and cupped his face gently.
Although you always look cute, but I still don't like tears in your eyes, Minnie.
Jimin sniffed when Yoongi wiped his tears off his cheeks and kissed them softly. Why you choose this way, Yoongi? I know you didn't harm anyone innocent, but still, why? Jimin questioned because he didn't get why Yoongi chose this mafia war when he already had everything. Yoongi heaved his sigh because he knew Jimin has all rights to know.
When I came back Korea 5 years ago.
Came 5 years ago? Then why didn't come to me back then? Jimin questioned, curious and desperate.
That's what I did the first thing when I came here, Minnie. To get back to you, but
Jimin looked now more curious, and Yoongi continued after a pause.
when I went to meet you at your place, you weren't there. I asked the neighbors and one of them told me that years ago you and your family went into an accident and died.
Yes, we went into an accident, but I was saved and sent to the orphanage in Busan.
I couldn't believe it, Minnie. I had a feeling in my heart that you were alive. Tried to get information about that accident, but I couldn't find anything. I didn't know whether to look for you or not. I didn't know how to survive anymore. I totally lost myself after knowing I couldn't see you anymore. Then one day, I met Namjoon, who was looking for his kidnapped brother.
The one he was talking about that time? Jimin asked, getting a glimpse of the moment when Namjoon had pointed his gun at Jaewon. Yoongi gave a nod and continued.
He was kidnapped by Jaewon, who was a drug dealer back then. We were strangers and no one could reach him, but Namjoon and I did and rescued Taeyong. I thought maybe I couldn't meet you, but I could help someone get back his loved one. After that, I started doing this kind of work, just to help those who couldn't find justice.
Jimin couldn't help but to smile in tears.
And that night, when I was in Busan to find an enemy, I ran into you. Maybe it was destiny that we met that night. And I looked at you. I couldn't help but to get a glimpse of that tiny me. After that, I collected information about you. It was actually you, my Minnie.
Yoongi's eyes filled with tears when he explained it to Jimin, and there was a small smile on his thin lips, looking lost like it was happening at the moment.
That night, when you left your workplace, I was there following you. And I planned to give you a surprise, and that's why I took you here. I know It wasn't a decent way, and
I didn't like that. Those words made Yoongi more embarrassed. But if I had known it was you, I would like that. Jimin once glanced in Yoongi's eyes and said further, if I had known it was you, I would like everything you did. Since it was you, so I liked everything. Jimin's point of view. I explained shyly, taking glances at him, because I still couldn't hold eye contact. He chuckled, and that's when I noticed his gummy smile. I couldn't help but to feel my heart fluttering. So this is how my Uni looks when he smiles. The next moment, my heart jumped when he cupped my face in those long hands of his. I felt like he couldn't resist anymore and placed a tender kiss on my nose. He slowly moved back and locked his eyes with mine. I could feel our fast beating heart, slow breath, slightly touching nose, made it intense. I saw his eyes moving between my eyes and lips. Those I knew were kind of fluffy. That somewhat made me insecure. I gulped the saliva down as I felt my throat getting dry. I glanced at his lips once, and I wanted it to happen. I wanted to kiss him. I wanted to be kissed by him. Yoongi point of view.
I couldn't help but to get distracted by those bouncy lips of him. How can someone be blessed with this much natural beauty? For a second, a question ran in my mind. Am I that lucky to be with an angel like him? I could read everything in those pretty hazel eyes. Those were asking to cross the boundaries we had set between us. I leaned closer until the moment I felt his lips brushing on mine. I felt like my soul flew miles away when I felt the soft touch of his lips. That was the moment I realized that I'm gonna get addicted to his lips. We stayed still for a few seconds before I pressed my lips on his and moved them slow but deep. It felt so euphoric than I've ever imagined. I moved one of my hands from his cheeks to his neck, stroking it gently, and another moved down on his waist, holding it tight yet gentle, because I wanted him to feel it deep in his soul. Meanwhile, he rested one of his hands on my chest and another on my neck. I moved my lips slow because I didn't want to rush and wanted him to maintain the pace. I took his lower lip in my mouth and sucked it passionately, only to get a soft whimper, and he clung more onto me like he didn't want to leave any sooner. This was our first kiss, and I wanted him to feel every bit of it. I kissed his cheek with my thumb and gave a gentle stroke on his tiny waist. His lips were making me addicted to them. I slid my tongue in his mouth and moved it colliding with his sweet one. He let out a soft, melodious moan that only made me want more of him. His hands gripped on my neck and stroked my hair, interlocking his fingers in them. I roamed my tongue in his mouth, tasting every corner of it. Soon I felt him lacking on breath, and that's when I realized that he's such a baby. He still doesn't know how to make it work for a long time. I couldn't help but smile and pulled out my tongue, still holding him, when a string of saliva connected our lips. His uneven breath fanned on my lips, and I gazed at his closed eyes and his reddened nose and cheeks. Those I urged to bite, but I held myself back. Glancing at his lips, I sucked them, licking the saliva stream. I moved back to have a perfect view of his blushy face. He opened his eyes slow, and I could see a shyness in them.
I love you, Uni.
The words he whispered gave me the feeling I was craving for years. I pulled him in my arms and felt the jolt of emotions rushing in me. I love you, Minnie. I love you so damn much. My voice muffled against his shoulder. I didn't want to pull out any sooner, and I wanted to sleep with him in my arms. But I still didn't know if he was ready or not. I wish I was a bit drunk like that night. I seriously want him, his warmth, his touch, his love, but I still moved back from the hug. Sleep now. I placed a kiss on his temple and moved back to stand when I felt his short fingers wrapped my wrist. That made me look at him.
You gonna sleep there?
I could feel a hesitation in his voice. I gave a nod with a hum.
If you want, we can share the bed.
Gosh, why he's so cute. I always wished to sleep with him in my embrace. And I was so damn happy. But I smirked in the idea of teasing him because why not? I want so many other things. Would you mind if I do?
What?
I could see his whole face turning red in a second. So, he isn't that innocent, huh? I was talking about cuddling. What you thought?
I didn't mean anything.
His stuttering voice and turning red face only encouraged me to tease him more. You ain't that innocent, are you? I whispered, leaning closer to him. He opened his lips to say something, but I pressed my fingers on his reddish lips. Those I have tasted minutes ago, and I will taste them again and again, till my last breath. I couldn't help but to give a soft rub on his bouncy lips. And if you're still innocent, I'm still gonna teach you everything before our wedding. I witnessed his eyes widen, and he blinked them multiple times, like he was surprised to hear whatever I had said. When you look at me with those puppy eyes, I swear, Jimmy, you do something to me. Something that can probably harm you. Shit. I was not supposed to say it louder. I cursed myself for not having control of my mouth.
You can never harm me, Yoni.
His words came low but assured. But I'm a mafia, remember?
All I know is that you are my Yoni and my Yoni can never harm me in any way, even if he's a mafia.
I chuckled on his firm statement. My teasing mood turned jolly. I couldn't resist and placed a kiss on his pretty nose, earning the sweetest melody. His giggles. I promised, before we get married, I'll be miles away from this mafia work, and we'll be happy at a place where not a single ray of darkness could come around us. I promised because all I needed is him. Always. I chose this word because I didn't have any reason back then, but now I have him, and I cannot see him getting hurt. I embraced him in my arms, and we cuddled until we fall asleep into a dreamland, excited to welcome our further life.